I can explain. Hey there, viewer. Ron speaking, and this sucker's been a real talking point for the last month, hasn't it? Yes, I managed to find a Switch 2 after putting it off for about a month because I wanted to see how things were going. And some people like it, some people hate it, and some problems were arising. So, you know, a typical console launch. Before I unbox everything, which I'm not sure how much value that'll have because it's been a month, I might as well explain. Well, first I'm gonna go over my thoughts on the whole build-up to release, and then I'm gonna explain why I still bought it in spite of everything. So, this is one of the most violent roller coasters I've ever been on. Back when it was announced in February, I immediately started saving up for it because I knew it was gonna be a little bit pricier than the Switch 1. So, working at Home Depot, I saved about $40 from each paycheck I got and put it in a little jar, saving up to about $580 on each paycheck from here. 6 months later, and doing that made me feel like a little kid in the 90s saving up for a bike, and I turned 21 this year, so think of that what you will. And then, anyway. And then the Direct came out on April 2nd. I made that video giving my immediate reaction. I saw some comments kind of questioning me there. I made that video before I discovered everything else, so it was like immediately after I saw it, so that explains why I didn't really go that in depth with it. But everybody was blown away by the stuff they were showing, obviously. New Mario Kart and all the new little features, even if some of them were a little weird, like the camera system and the new camera, which I didn't bother with, and I'll get more into that later. Or the little chat button, which I was never going to use because I don't really have friends to play video games with me. Not even my siblings do anymore. So this is all mine, technically. And then there was other games like the Dragon Drive, where you're a disabled robot playing basketball. Disabled people seem happy about that, so if it works for them, good. I probably won't get it, but who knows. And then Kirby Air Riders is coming out, and then Donkey Kong Bonanza, giving Donkey Kong the spotlight after being dormant for a while. People probably immediately forgot that Donkey Kong Country Returns HD even came out this year. But yeah, everyone was super blown away. And then they went to pre-order it, and they saw the prices, and their Nintendo boner kind of went flaccid, and then their entire reputation was ruined in a matter of a few hours. And that kind of set the whole thing on fire. Suddenly, everybody hated it, which I totally understand if it's not worth it to you. But suddenly, everyone hated the entire company, which, again, if you're just talking about the higher-ups and their decisions, sure. But then they were hating the dev team, and then some people were saying that they haven't been good since the Wii U days, completely forgetting the massive copyright strikes they were doing at the time, and all the other shady practices they've done over the years, like any other company. It was nuts. It was everything. But for every one person who was screaming about it endlessly for money, there were like 3 more that were still excited for this thing. And here's where I stand on it. I was cautiously excited after all that. And again, emphasis on cautiously. So I obviously still wanted it, but I wasn't gonna get literally everything for it. Like, even though it's here, this is all I have. I got Switch, Mario Kart bundle, Cyberpunk 2077, and this case. I didn't bother with the Pro Controller because the Switch 1 controller will work on it, and the only added buttons are the 2 back pedals and the C buttons, and none of those are required for any game, so I don't need to get that. I didn't get the case only because I couldn't find one. I'll find that at a later date, probably. I didn't get the camera because I was never going to use that, and you can just use any USB-C camera, and no, that won't brick your... I'll get into all that later, but that won't brick your system because that's a feature Nintendo allows. I didn't get any extra Joy-Cons because, again, no one else really plays with me these days. So yeah, I only narrowed it down to what I wanted. Console, a game. The screen protector was more of an impulse buy, but this was only like $14, so that wasn't too bad. And, on the one hand, I was annoyed at the Nintendo fanboys defending literally everything about the company, like, oh, you're not allowed to criticize it. And then I was annoyed at the other side that was angrily screaming at it with the fire in their thumbnails, and they're being like, you're an absolute shill, you're probably a ton of saying a bunch of gay slurs or something, and then acting like if you bought the thing, you're immediately a shill, and it's like... So I don't like everything about this thing. And then... But, like... I'm not gonna buy literally everything, and I'm not gonna I'm gonna be very selective with what I do with this thing, basically, because like there's only a handful of games that I want, and I was never gonna get literally everything for it. But I'm getting off track a little bit. Then the game keycard thing, which yeah, that's dumb no matter which way you splice it. It's a weird middle ground between digital and physical, and it just benefits nobody. So I'm gonna stay away from those as much as I can. The Nintendo Switch 2 editions of games, I'm probably gonna avoid those because there aren't games I don't really care about. Like the Breath of the Wild, I haven't even finished the original Breath of the Wild, so I probably don't need to get that. Tears of the Kingdom, I straight up don't have at the moment. And like, what else is there? The whole modding the system will brick it thing. Yeah, that sucks, but it's probably not going to affect me. I explained this in my original Xbox video, but I don't really do modding or emulating. Not because I'm some sort of super purist and I think that doing that is a sin. If you like doing that, good for you. I'm not going to stop you. Like, go ahead. It's just, I don't feel like it. I'd rather just play it normally, which is why I even collect retro games the way I do, because I just like playing it normally like that. But, you know, Brazil is suing Nintendo over that. The game key cards are not selling very well at the moment. And Nintendo recently said they're gonna analyze the price and see how it'll, like, block some people out. So maybe there's a price drop coming. I don't know. But, so yeah, I was kind of annoyed at everybody on each side here. Those who were just gonna buy literally everything for it, and those who were so opposed to it. And the funny thing is, I say funny, but more so annoying, some of the people who were not gonna buy this thing ended up buying it day one solely to crap on it, which doesn't make any sense to me. So either their hatred for this thing was so intense that it looped back around to them wanting to buy it just to crap on it, which at that point, what are you doing with your life? Or they were trying to deter other people from getting it so they get an easier time with it, which is just scummy, man. Like, I think being a hypocrite is worse than being a shill, okay? That, like, objectively, being a hypocrite is way worse. Like, I was in comment sections saying, yeah, I'm still gonna buy it, but I'll be cautious about it. And I was just, and some people agreed with me, some people weren't. I had this whole back and forth with somebody on YouTube. That's the only social media I really have, where they were saying, yeah, I'm not excited for this thing, but I don't hate you if you're gonna buy it. And I just left a reply saying, I wish more people were like that, you know, if they don't want it, sure, if you don't want this thing, you don't have to get it, no one's forcing you, I hope not anyway. But why do you have to be such a big douchebag to others about it? I'm seeing people calling on the word, are telling each other to kill themselves over it, and they're calling each other the R slur and stuff, and they're just saying, like, they want tendies, I've heard being thrown around. I guess they're trying to invent a slur for these people, like Swifties or something. And I'm not offended by that, that'd be stupid, but just the attitude toward it is just to bash on everybody, which that's not gonna make them side with you, that's just gonna make them more angry. Just once, I'd want an internet discussion to not turn into a screaming match. But I guess that's too much to ask for these days, so best if I just stay annoyingly in the middle. If you wanted me to be, like, fully praising this thing, you're out of luck, and if you wanted me to be just engulfed with hatred over this thing, you're also out of luck. I have my reasons, I bought it, so feel free to scream and whine and call me to kill myself or put an Aztec curse on my family or whatever you want, but what's done is done. I have my reasons. If you don't want it, that's fine, you don't have to get it. If you do want it, be a little cautious. Like, it'd be one thing for the YouTubers to get it, people were getting mad at them for buying it, and it's like, that's their job, they kind of have to buy this thing, you know? They have to. Like, this is part of their job, it's their income, is talking about this sort of stuff, so they kind of have to buy it. Them buying literally every single game that came out for the thing, though, that's a little much. Like, even if they were fairly priced, that's, like, financial suicide, dude. Like, I think Scott the Wand's only bought a handful of games and a couple systems, no doubt to probably break one in a video. And then he didn't seem to get any of the game key cards, which is good, but who knows that. I don't know the guy personally, I don't know what he got. But yeah, there's all those factors. Even amongst all that, I was still cautiously excited. But the whole discussion was exhausting because you had to either be firmly for or firmly against this thing. You either had to be 100% angry at this thing or 100% for it. No round for compromise, no nuance allowed, no meeting in the middle with this thing. No, you either have to hate it or love it, and no options at all. It's just like politics, for real. But and then another factor people didn't consider is the casual audience that is just seeing this new fancy thing coming out. They're like, oh, I want that. Case in point, when I went to GameStop to get this thing, there was this black married couple in front of me. They looked like they're around in their 40s, I think. And they were also buying it. And they probably bought it for their kids. They just heard that the new thing is out. They remembered how much their kids love the Switch 1. And then they bought it, probably not thinking about the deeper implications of buying something like this. So, what do you say to them? And then the people saying, just buy a Steam Deck. I mean, sure, but I think they're appealing to two different markets. And then what do you say to the people who bought both? Because there's a good amount of people who have both. Or they're like, oh, just buy a Wii. I did already. Or collect retro games. I've been doing that for 2 years. Go through your backlog. I've actually been working on that all year. I blasted through a good 30 of my games just this year alone. So it's like I'm doing all the other except for PC gaming, because my laptop kind of sucks for that sort of stuff. If I ever do get a better computer at any point, I'll give it a shot. I'm not opposed to PC gaming. I'm not opposed to modding. I'm not opposed to emulation. If people like to doing those things, sure. Or piracy. I don't think I'm ready for the life of a pirate, but if you're jumping on that boat, have a good time, but I'm not jumping on that boat with you, at least not at the moment. But yeah, that's all my feelings. I'm just going off the cuff here, so I'm kind of rambling, but that's all my feelings towards it. Everything that was going on. I was just in the middle on everything, which is not allowed in any discussion ever anymore. But what's done is done. Whatever. So that brings us to why I bought the thing. And it's because my Switch here kind of sucks at the moment. So, first problem, this left side just stopped receiving signals and now no Joy-Con can connect to it. I bought another Joy-Con trying to fix that problem, but it turns out it's not a problem with the Joy-Con. The left side of it is just broken. And also, the kickstand broke off and I just blocked it with duct tape and there's scratches on it and it's not running the greatest. So if I needed a replacement for it anyway, I might as well get the new one. So that's the main reason I still bought it, because I needed a replacement and I might as well get the new one. But that's all I have to say on the build up to launch and my reasonings for buying it. Again, I have to preface this, I'm not telling you should buy this thing, and I'm not saying that you're wrong for not buying it. If you don't want it, you don't have to get it. And the whole thing of it selling 3.5 million in only its first week or so, a third of that was from Japan, a third of that was from America, a third of that is from Europe, so make of that what you will. I hear in Japan it's actually a lot cheaper. It's like 330 bucks in yen, obviously, but yeah. Talk about playing favorites. Or maybe it's import fees, I don't know. And the tariffs, I'm not even gonna get into that right now. And also, again, I have to re-emphasize this. Things might turn around for this thing. Obviously, the lawsuit that Brazil is fighting with Nintendo on the GameCube card. So, really, if you're looking to get this thing, be patient, keep your eyes peeled, and you might end up getting lucky. I did see people selling physical versions of Mario Kart Worlds for significantly less than the retail price, probably because of that whole update thing they did, where you can't play regular 3-lap races as easily anymore. So, yeah, just keep your eyes peeled on that. But yeah, that's all my rambling out of the way. Let's get this thing open. But, like, honestly, it's been a month. Everybody's made their unboxing videos. You know what's in this thing, so you know what? I'm just gonna cut and just have it open already and just lay it all out. So yeah, there's all the junk in it. You got the cables, you got the screen, you got the Joy-Cons, you got the grip, and you got the dock. And the charger brick, I don't know what you actually call these. And all the other wires required for it. Yeah, I guess I should have opened it on camera, but it's like, you know what's in here, so I'm not gonna look at this Joy-Con and go, holy crap, a Joy-Con! Come on, man, it's the Switch, but more. like, what more do you need? So, might as well get the whole thing running then. Oops. I guess I'm supposed to snap it in and be impressed. Alright, let's get this thing on. I'm trying to avoid showing my face here. Yeah, Nintendo. There it is. Thankfully, I got a brand new one. Alright, it's probably... I actually traded in a handful of games to bring the price down. I think I ended up... So I got this, the screen protector, and a warranty at GameStop, and that cost me around $540 total, but it would have been... I got like $50 off of it from all those trade-ins, so that's good. And the Cyberpunk I got at Target. So I'll go through the boring setup process off screen, because again, that's not really interesting. Okay, we're just waiting on it downloading an update. I assume this is for either Mario Kart or any other firmware updates or whatever. On that note, I was gonna get Mario Kart World physically and then use the trade-ins to bring down the price, but they only had the bundle, so I just got that. And while I'm on the subject, why I got this, this is not the game I normally play. Gritty, M-rated games are usually not my thing, but I've been trying to branch out to more different games lately, and doing that, I found BioShock to be one of my favorite games of all time. And also, the fact that they managed to cram this giant game into a tiny cartridge and didn't cheap out with a game key card shows that this developer actually does care. Even if this game had a rocky start, it seems to have found its footing finally, so I felt comfortable supporting this one. I'm just hopeful more developers will follow suit on that. Okay, it took a lot of finagling and trying to get that master key card because I put a parental controls thing and I forgot the pin for the longest time, and I didn't know I needed that for the system transfer. So that was really annoying, but I'm finally getting it through, and I am saddened to announce they did not bring back the Pikmin. That's really annoying. But I finally got this working, so we'll see how. Just gotta wait now. Aren't consoles exciting? And there it is. Finally. Took like a little over an hour, but all my save data is here. Some of it's still processing, it looks like. Yeah. Now, it did get the bundle, which I managed to get the bundle that actually has it built in, and rather than just a random download code and a sticker stapled on it, so that's interesting. So let's do that. The other accounts there are my siblings, back when they actually played with me. It's a little sad. I guess we're getting a good view of my European or sign in for a Nintendo account. Do I have to do more signing in? While that's downloading, I might as well clarify. I'm not getting rid of my Switch 1, because I probably can't sell it right now in this condition it's in. And 2, it's just a keepsake at this point. Like, I got that thing December of 2017, if I remember. It was a Christmas present from my mom, and I don't want to get rid of that, so yeah. This may be a while. Alright, I got it set up with my TV, and it adds to my ever-increasing mess of wires. Yeah, that's a Switch, alright. I'm using the regular Pro Controller, which works perfectly fine, so... Again, you don't gotta buy a single new controller, assuming all things are working. I guess I would play Mario Kart, but it takes an hour, and at this point I think the video's gone on long enough, so I'll stop here. But... yeah, that's it. I don't have much else to say. I got the Switch 2. I'm sure it'll work for what I'm acquiring of it. I'm not gonna get literally every single thing Nintendo puts out. I'm only gonna get the stuff I'm interested in. Like, I definitely want Donkey Kong Bonanza. I want Kirby's Air Riders when that comes out. I'm sure Sakurai will work something out with Nintendo to have that one not be $80, but even if it is, the original more or less cost that much anyway, so I don't know how much of a difference that would make. And then we'll see from there. Who knows how this thing will turn out. People getting annoyed at it selling out in its first week. The Wii U sold out when it launched, and look how that turned out. And also, Nintendo's successor consoles never seem to do quite as well as their predecessors. You look at the Game Boy versus the Game Boy Advance, or the DS versus the 3DS. Even if not all of them were flops, they never, they don't always reach the same height. So if you want my bet, I'm sure if the Switch sold 150 million, this will probably sell like 60 million over the course of several years, not that quickly. I'm being generous with that estimate. Who knows how this thing will turn out? But yeah, that's it. Leave your thoughts, I guess, if you want to yell at me or if you want to get mad at me for not completely praising it. You're out of luck either way, because I'm trying to be as reasonable with this thing as I can, which I'm kind of fighting a losing game doing that, but whatever. Yeah, that's it. So until the next time I decide to upload, see you, viewer.